From across the nation and around the world, for Pacifica Headlines, I'm Jesse Lent. A drone attack in Ukraine hits a major oil refinery in Moscow yesterday, the second time in a week that Ukrainian forces have struck the facility. Footage courtesy of the AP. The attack sent clouds of black smoke hovering over the Russian capital and disrupted hundreds of flights at the city's airports in one of Ukraine's biggest drone strikes since Russia's full-scale invasion of the country in February of 2022, officials told the Associated Press. The attack by dozens of drones came hours after Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said he had held a, quote, important coordination call with the presidents of the United States and France and had won key pledges of further support from this week's G7 summit, according to the AP. If Ukraine is going to burn, your Moscow will burn too, Zelensky said, adding that the attack was part of Kyiv's effort to bring Russian President Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table. It is time to end the aggression, time to end this war, Zelensky added. Reuters is reporting the transport workshop of the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in eastern Ukraine was the target of a massive drone attack last night, with at least 14 strikes recorded, the Russian-installed management said today.
We're coming here every day. We're searching and looking around to see if we can find any memories. If we found any of our belongings, what used to be ours, our memories, archives, are very difficult to find.
A member of Lebanon's civil defense force in Nebatia, the government agency tasked with rescuing civilians as Israel's war with Hezbollah fighters within Lebanon rages on, sifts through the rubble of his unit's decimated headquarters destroyed last month in an Israeli strike. Footage and reporting by Al Jazeera. According to this civil defense worker, who was unidentified by the news agency, 9 members of his unit have been killed and 15 have been wounded. The Israeli military killed at least 18 people in airstrikes in 11 towns in southern Lebanon today, according to the country's health ministry. The agency says that the bombardment has been preventing rescue and evacuation efforts and that the death toll is expected to rise. In one of the targeted locations, the village of Haruf, northeast of the city of Tyre, 7 people were killed and many more are believed to be under rubble, health ministry sources told Reuters. According to the Times of Israel, 4 Israeli soldiers, including a battalion commander, were killed by Hezbollah attacks last night. Swiss officials told the New York Times late yesterday that Vice President J.D. Vance's scheduled trip to Switzerland today for talks with Iranian officials has been postponed as Israel's attacks on Hezbollah forces in Lebanon, which Iranian negotiators have said would eliminate any possibility of a peace deal as long as they continued throughout southern Lebanon. According to Al Jazeera, the trip was canceled at the last minute following an Israeli bombing in southern Lebanon that killed at least 3 people. Yesterday, Vice President Vance ended his remarks from the press briefing room at the White House with a rare rebuke of Israeli cabinet members who have been highly critical of the terms of the Memorandum of Understanding between the U.S. and Iran, touted as the first step to lasting peace in the region.
Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
Lebanon's health ministry has recorded 3,912 people killed in their country as a result of Israeli attacks since March 2nd. Reuters reports that Hezbollah attacks have killed at least 32 IDF soldiers and 4 Israeli civilians during the same period. The Pentagon says 13 U.S. service members have been killed and 415 wounded as the U.S. and Israel's war on Iran enters its 112th day. And thousands of New York Knicks fans turned up for the first ever ticker tape parade for the team in New York City, who is celebrating their first NBA championship in 53 years. According to New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani, the team's grit is the perfect analogy for the fiery drive inside millions of people from around the world that call the city home.
The Knicks did not just win for New York City. They won like New York City. What is New York if not your back up against the wall? A dream that feels just out of reach. A rent payment you don't know how you'll ever make. And who are New Yorkers if not people who hear those odds and smile?
Those are the latest Pacifica headlines. For the Pacifica Network, I'm Jesse Lent.